Here is Brian Clark, finally back, our designer, and you're going to tell us about how to deal with small spaces today.
Yes, if you're spatially impaired, then today is the day for you. But first, I do want to talk about killing the plants.
Oh.
I heard Danny was responsible, is that right?
Yes, yes, Danny's responsible.
I tell you, we're going to talk after this for sure.
Okay, I even took it home, replanted it, but it looks really sad today.
Well, you know,
really sad.
You can only do what you can.
Yeah, I'm only here once a week. What can I do?
Some people have a green thumb, some people have a dead thumb. Thank you, Danny. All right, well.
It's so nice to have Danny to play.
I know, that's his whole purpose on the show, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
Good,
it is.
Good deal. All right, well, today I want to talk about at least 4 top sins that people commit when they have a small space, when they're spatially impaired.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so first sin is thinking cramped instead of cozy. Okay?
Oh,
so you're sitting there in your small space and you're like, you know, it's all about a mindset with a small space. Okay? In a small space, the eye moves quickly around the room. Different than a large space, obviously it takes longer. So you want to be extra detailed in what you do in a small space. You want to take time in choosing the lamp. Don't just run down to the store and pick out the first lamp that you see. Take some time, choose that lamp, choose the pillows. Take time in the details because it's more important that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you want to guide your people through the room just like you would a piece of artwork. So you choose what they're going to look at. You choose those focal points, if you will.
Well, I love what you said about cramped versus cozy. I'd never thought of that.
Yeah, and all of these things are about embracing the space. You know, nothing you can do is going to change the space except for possibly just knocking out walls. And if that's the case, then you know, we don't have any problems. You know, then hire me and we'll do the whole thing.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So number 2.
Okay.
Number 2 is being afraid of the dark. Now, Maria, are you afraid of the dark?
Not really.
Okay. Here's the next question to lead that up. To follow that up. If you have a small space, what color do you have to paint it?
White.
Right. Why?
Because it'll make it feel bigger.
Right. That's what everybody thinks. And most of the time, that's what the builders painted it because they don't make a choice. Now, if you want to choose white as your choice, then that's fine. That's completely and utterly fine. There are beautiful things that can be done with the color white.
But I don't have to.
But you don't have to. No. And that's where the problem is. If you're going to make a choice about something, then make a choice. Paint the walls a dark chocolate brown. It's very popular right now. My living room is a dark chocolate stone brown. It's gorgeous. It's got a little bit of gray to it. Ooh. And my house, I don't have amazing millwork. I don't have great casing or the baseboards and that sort of thing. And so what that does is because they're painted in off-white, it pops that and it gives it more importance. So if you've got an average home, like most of us do, paint it dark. Give that contrast there in the molding, in your trim, and it'll pop those out and make them feel more important. Also, any artwork, anything you put up against the wall will jump off of those walls. It makes it more interesting. And also, don't forget the ceiling. When you're painting a room a dark color, oftentimes the white ceiling and the dark wall will create a lot of contrast, and that's what makes it kind of feel that way. So if you can go about 2-3 shades lighter than the wall color on the ceiling, then that contrast will be diminished, and you'll be able to
So you don't have to have a white ceiling then?
No, you shouldn't have a white ceiling.
I thought that was like one of those fast rules.
No, we're breaking the rules today.
Okay,
all right.
I like breaking rules.
All right, so number 3 is putting everything out there. Okay, a lot of people do this. A lot of people go out and they collect things over the years and they put everything there. And there's so many little knickknacks on the tables. There's too many pillows on the couch. There's too many chairs in the room. You need to edit. Edit with a capital E. Pull everything out of the room, absolutely everything, and then one by one put the pieces back into the room that are necessary. Like if it's a living room, a sofa, bring the sofa back in, then bring a side table, bring in the chairs that you use. Think about the pieces that you use on a day-to-day basis and the accessories that you actually look at on a day-to-day basis. Because 90% of the time. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, and those are the things you're going to be looking at on a day-to-day basis. But most of the time, we don't enjoy the things that we have. And so if you can take away half of those things and maybe bring them back. I know, you're guilty, aren't you?
Yeah.
Take away half of them, bring them back in the winter. you know, and rotate it. So
things.
it gives it a little bit of variety that way too.
I like that.
You'll find you'll have a new space every season. And I'm not talking about Easter decorations either. No pastel eggs going on. All right, now the fourth thing is thinking about mirror only on the wall. No. Mirror on the wall is great.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. It opens up the space.
Are you going to put it on the ceiling?
Well, we think of mirrors on the ceiling and we think of cheap hotels, don't we? Actually, some of those aren't so cheap. But I digress. No, really, there are some great pieces of furniture and lamps and all sorts of things that bring reflective surfaces and mirrored surfaces into pieces of furniture. And I've got some examples right here, actually. This mirrored table, this little garden stool, we've got this Barcelona bench here, the lamp itself, all of those things reflect the light back through. And so all of that's giving depth to your space and making the eye a little more excited to see them, you know?
So this would be a good thing to use in a small space also.
In a small space, all of these things. The ottoman especially, it's got the reflective surface there on the bottom. It doesn't absolutely have to be mirrored. It can be high gloss things. Those can be great. But the ottoman is from a client's house where we had a smaller living room. We wanted to use ottomans as extra seating when the need arose, but we didn't want just a block of fabric just sitting in the middle of the room. And so if you look for things with legs, that is also a great option in a small space, because your eye can see through them. You can see the rug, all of that sort of thing.
That's great. That's great.
And all of these pieces, I mean, this is simple. All of these pieces are under $150.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So,
we have 2 minutes just so you know time-wise what you want.
All right, last thing.
I like those mossy things.
Aren't those great? Little moss rocks.
Great.
Fun stuff. Little splash of green, just like what we talked about.
Yeah.
Now the last thing I have is this panel back here, and this is specifically for apartment dwellers or kids going back to school. You can't paint the walls. It's hard to get that sense of personality, of home. Exactly. So all you have to do is go down to your local lumber store, pick up 4 pre-cut boards into the shape that you want, rectangular, square, whatever you want.
You know what? I'm going to
nail
go
them
get
together.
that. You
grab
keep talking.
it.
You keep talking there.
Nail them together. And then you're going to find your favorite fabric at a fabric store, stretch it around, staple it to the back, hang it on the wall like a piece of artwork. And all it's going to do is you're going to hang that behind your sofa or whatever. This is one that I did for my little girl's room. It sits above her crib. It doesn't even have to be pretty on the back, obviously. But you hang it up on the wall, and it's a great way to bring color and personality into a space. Another thing, bedding is ultimate important in a dorm room or in an apartment. It's a great way to express your personality and really have some fun with it. So go out, get rid of the plaid bedding that you've had since you were 12 and get some new stuff. Okay?
I'm just really taken by this. Just wood, and then you put fabric on it.
And if you don't love fabric, you can just do canvas, buy canvas and paint it.
I think this is a great idea. Yeah.
So just a simple solution. Bring a little personality in. Again, the idea is just to embrace the space. If you can live with being spatially challenged, which I think is better anyway, too much we get into these giant homes with it's just a waste of space. And we want to just tighten it up, you know, live a little bit more green if we can by using less energy, less space.
That sounds great.
Embrace your space.
Brian. Thank you so much.
No problem.
It's always so great to have you here.